Let's quickly get to grips with the details of that very sad story. And we speak now to the Community Safety and Liaison spokesperson, Moeti Mmusi, who speaks to us now. Mr. Mmusi, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Let's start with how many people have died as a result of this accident?
A very good evening to you and the viewers at home. We can confirm that at this stage, 5 learners have lost their lives at the scene when a train and a scholar bus transport collided on the road R104 between Arnold and Vonnersfontein. Because the scene is still very much active, we can say that we cannot at this stage ascertain the number of injuries, the severity of those injuries, but safe to say several emergency services have responded to the scene. Our law enforcement officers, those include our safety engineering official and the police, are at the scene to try and investigate. And then we also have several onlookers. We suspect, although I cannot confirm, that some of these people who are at the scene, emotional as they may seem, based on the reports that we have received, seem to be the guardians or the parents of some of these learners.
Oh, that's very tragic indeed. Talk to us about the vehicle that the pupils were traveling in. Was it a normal bus as we know it, or a minibus taxi?
It is scholar transport bus. I can say it's a midi bus. It's between the bus that you know, but bigger than your normal midi bus taxi.
Yeah. How could this have happened, Mr. Mmusi? Because I would imagine signs are there for all to see. Or is it possible that those signs were not there?
We are going to subject this to a full investigation by our safety engineering unit, RTMC crash investigation specialist, as well as the police, to determine what could have gone wrong. But definitely we cannot rule out the fact that maybe the driver of the bus may have been on the wrong. We don't want to cast any aspersions on the story as it develops. We'll just wait for the full investigations to be carried out on this issue.
Let's talk about the total number of pupils who were on that scholar transport.
At this stage, because the scene is still very much being looked at and being attended to, we cannot exactly determine how many learners were in the scholar transport.
Is it safe to say that both the drivers of the train and the scholar transport, those people were not affected in any way and therefore will be able to answer questions?
The driver of the goods train should be able to do that. I cannot determine whether the driver of the scholar transport bus is in a position to speak, to respond to questions or not.
Yeah. Roughly what time did this accident occur, and is it possible that the weather perhaps could have been to blame? I'm trying to look for reasons as to why this accident happened in the first place.
It's very difficult to tell at this stage, but it happened around this afternoon. We cannot tell whether we cannot determine whether the weather may have played a hand into this. But those are some of the things that our investigation teams will look into.
All right, Moeti Mmusi, let me thank you very much for your time. So visibility may not necessarily have been an issue here if it was in the afternoon. Clearly, it was very clear for every the either driver of these two vehicles, a train and a scholar transport vehicle colliding, and the result of that, tragically, 5 lives have been lost, and we understand it is pupils. Mr. Mmusi also telling us that many of the people that are on the scene right now could well be the guardians or parents of these children. So you can imagine a very, very tragic scene indeed.